Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Oh, you know what I didn't set up? Didn't set up for a while. Good morning, good morning. Alrighty. I love you. See you later. Good morning. Just setting some stuff up. Look, they have all kinds of spring things today. Aw, that's cool. We'll say 3. Sure. Ooh, that one's cool. Actually, go back. Good morning, good morning. How are you this morning? Whew, she's warm. I was looking at that one. I was pinning a gift and I looked at it and I thought it said 1,000 and then I realized it said 10,000 and I was like, that's a lot. That's not the gift that I want to set up as the one that I'm pinning. All right, that works. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's some gifts that are set up there. Good morning. Good morning. How are you today? How's everything going today? So we're going to talk about soul ties, like soul contracts and stuff today. That's what we're going to end up talking about. But I do want to start with a couple of cards just to check in on some energy. So, but I'm not going to be pulling cards for everybody today. So if that's what you're looking for is for some tarot cards, then we'll see. One of these days I might set up for a tarot day and just do readings for the entire day, but we'll see what day that'll happen on. Maybe I'll advertise for it beforehand. How's everybody doing today? Whoop. All right, we've got Gandhi as our master that's coming to help us today. And Gandhi is, I am the change that I seek in this world. And it's true. All the changes have to start with you, right? That's the important thing, is starting the changes with yourself. And the world that we want to envision, if we start doing it through ourselves, right? That's how we start to create it. People see the changes that we're making, see how we're living, see how harmonious it is or how, healthy it is. And then they want to join us in that type of living, as opposed to what we're living in now with all the distortions in the matrix, right? All the lies and delusion, disillusions, all of that. So we've got Gandhi on the scene, guiding us today, giving us that reminder, right? Giving us that reminder to make sure that we're the ones that are living. We're not expecting somebody else to come and change everything, right? We've got to stop expecting somebody else to be our hero or our savior, because the only one that's saving you is you, right? Good morning. All right, let's see what other cards are coming up for today to give us a little idea of the energy. Okay, so the Page of Swords, there's some busyness in the mind. The Page of Swords is a very busy mind. She's also represents to me like Gemini energy, very curious, looking for all that new information. It can usually it usually speaks to education, but because it's in this part, there's maybe some I know it all attitude. So you're not open to learning something new, or there's some education or something new that you have. There's something that you have to learn, but you're not taking the time to go and do that. There's some information that's. So we've got the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is about needing time to rest. It's a time in which you need to really spend your energy on you. You need to be taking care of you. You need to be invested in your health and well-being. And that's echoed by the Ace of Cups, which is a new level of love that you're experiencing for yourself, which is powerful. The Hanged Man came out as well. The Hanged Man is about getting a new perspective. And the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is about your soul connections. So it's like whatever's going on here, there was like a pause or something, and maybe there was some information that you weren't aware of. So you needed to wait for that information to show up. So it could be the wait wasn't even something that you were choosing to do, either that or you were just going against it. It was something that you should have done, but you were like, not right yet, not right yet, not right yet. So anyway, you were hesitant or operating from an I know or from a fear base of taking that new lesson. So that time out was time out for you to get some understanding, to gain some knowledge, to focus some energy on you, to pour that love into you, to change and get a new perspective. And then your soul connections are going to show up. And look at on the bottom of the deck, we're birthing this beautiful new world and all of the glory and stuff that's coming with that, like financially. So today, like I said, we're going to talk about soul contracts. We'll do a couple of meditations or activations throughout the session, because that's what I like to do, is give you real stuff, real topics, and real change. So yeah, if you want to change your life from the inside out, stick around. But if you want to go and hang out and, get a card here or there, there's other individuals that can give you some cards. So today we're going to talk about, again, releasing old soul contracts and entering into higher reality streams, right? So this is soul contract revocation as a path to multidimensional freedom. So we're going to talk about soul contracts, what they are, what types of contracts they are, how you know that you're in a contract, so that you can identify it, right? So what are soul contracts? Soul contracts, and how are they formed, and how are they manipulated? Right. So soul contracts are energetic agreements that are made before you incarnated in this life. They're often designed to support your growth, or resolution, or your mission. Alignment. So it could be that you have made an agreement that I'm going to interact with you for this particular reason, and you're going to create this change in me, which is going to propel me in the direction of my soul mission. Or I'm going to interact with you so that I can have that growth that's required for me to step into the next level of my soul. So how are many of these contracts that we form? We don't form them through a conscious integrity. Like, we're not doing it through integrity and through knowledge and through truth, right? It's something that's occurring through manipulation, right? And they get manipulated during trauma. They get manipulated during astral interference, and also through false light guidance. So there's many ways that our soul contracts get manipulated. And what that does is binds the soul to timelines that no longer serve your evolution. So what types of soul contracts are there? There's karmic. We know about these ones. And when you're in a karmic contract, when it's very tumultuous, it's very chaotic. And when it ends there, it can either end being very, very disruptive, or it can end very smoothly. Now, if it's been a chaotic kind of disruptive relationship and it ends fairly without issues, you're not tied to it long-term after the exposure, after the breakup, it's not, there's not a lot of stuff that you're dealing with carried forward into the now moment. That's when you know that contract is done, that you've resolved the contract. When the contract is ended and it's still, there's still contract left there that you're going to be living out in some capacity, that contract feels very much like when you break up, that still stays chaotic. And there still seems to be this connection that just won't go away, and this link to that individual. There are familial contracts that we have as well. There are galactic, there are religious, romantic, and magical contracts that we get into. So the contracts can arise from those multitude of sources: karmic vows with other souls, familial bloodline agreements, galactical service or allegiance contracts, religious oaths like poverty, celibacy, martyrdom, romantic soul bonds that we were talking about, and magical pacts. So many of these carry distortions that are rooted in duty, sacrifice, or unconscious consent. Hi, Morici. Buenos dias. And hi, Jack Snack. It's been a long time since I saw you. So how do these looping patterns and old contracts keep us tethered to these outdated timelines. When the contracts are not consciously reviewed or cleared, they can keep you bound to the outdated versions of yourself. And this results in emotional stagnation, repeated trauma cycles, financial or relational blocks, and the inability to fully embody our divine mission. So just letting you know, I have TikTok on this screen. I switched it today. I have TikTok here and I have YouTube up there. So I am looking up at the YouTube screen here and there. And if you're commenting on YouTube, please comment and get in the conversation. This isn't meant to be just me orating to you. How are you? Good morning, Carol. Nice to see you. So we're talking about soul contracts. We're talking about those good old karmic loops. So what are the difference between a divine contract or divine soul agreement and a synthetic overlay? How do you tell the difference between that? So when you're in a divine agreement, a divine soul agreement, you're going to know that because it's rooted in mutual power, empowerment, it's remembrance, and it's liberation. And I've had a few of those particular relationships in my life. Carol's one of them. My friend Shauna Lee's another type of those, where our interactions, you can tell that there's not this karmic tie there, or there's not this synthetic agreement there, that the agreement is made through a divine soul agreement. And the reason why is because there's nothing but wanting to empower each other, or to, to help them along, help you remember things like that. So there's that mutual back and forth where we're helping each other to remember who we were, what we came here for, and really just empowering each other. So you'll know the difference between those. But when it's chaotic and is formed in, a lot of really harmful behaviors, you know that relationship is more than likely founded in karmic ties or synthetic overlays. So the divine ones, oh, look at, that's cute. I didn't know what that one looked like. So now I do. So they support ascension, right? They are always made in alignment with prime source. Synthetic overlays, they will mimic these agreements, but are created through manipulation, fear, or trickery, and often by entities, systems, or AI consciousness that's seeking to siphon or suppress your light. Okay, so we're going to do a little guided session here. I just want to check and see that I'm not missing any of the comments on YouTube, and I don't seem to be missing any of them, so that's good. There's nothing to miss there. That's perfect. So let's do this guided little activation. And we know when we're going to do the activation, we want to make sure that we're in a safe position and that we have our phone in a secure place. Not because you're at risk of, falling asleep or anything. We're not doing a big, long meditation or activation of any kind. But if I'm holding on to my phone and I'm watching it, there's a possibility that in that state that I'll just jerk my limbs or something and I could drop my device. So I just want you to make sure that you and your device are in a safe place. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start to focus on our breath, and we're going to close our eyes. And you close your eyes just to close out external stimulation that's going on around you. So it'll help you to stay centered and present through it. Look at that. That is so interesting. It just said AI soul contracts unlocked with a key and a light thing on I've never seen that come up. Oh, it's an AI live summary settings. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I've never seen that before. All right, thank you. New things in TikTok land. All righty. So again, get yourself in a safe position, put your device in a secure place, close your eyes, and start to focus on your breath and centering yourself. So just a nice, slow, deep breath in and then out. Continue breathing in a nice, slow, deep inhale and an exhale that's lengthened. And as that exhale leaves your body, sink into that space that comes up. Feel your body settle. Feel your awareness begin to descend from your mind into your heart. So we want to focus on our heart space as we're doing this. Okay. Keep that nice, slow breath in and long exhale at whatever pattern feels appropriate to you. Next, you're going to visualize this beautiful golden light above your head. This is your oversoul presence. It's radiant, it's expansive, it's infinite. And this beautiful golden light that's above your head, it starts to begin to gently pour down into your crown. This beautiful golden light entering in through your crown, into your brain, all the way through your head, and down in your neck, on your shoulders, filling up your arms and your hands, down into your chest and your abdomen, and down into your legs and finally your feet. Allow this to settle throughout your body, through your spine, into your heart. And now we're going to speak aloud or inside your mind. I now call forth my eternal oversoul. I anchor into the light of my true self, free from distortion, illusion, and programming. So as this beautiful golden light continues to flow, imagine it activating crystalline codes in your DNA. These are the remembrance codes of your divine mission and your sovereign path. So see those codes lighting up throughout your body, in all of your DNA. See those codes through your spine. And see those codes in your heart. And see them radiating outward in your entire field. Now we're going to call back any fragmented parts of our soul. So repeat after me. I now call home all aspects of my being that have been fragmented, bound, or lost through false contracts or unconscious agreements across all timelines, lifetimes, realities, and dimensions. Return now. I restore you in wholeness and purity. Feel that light intensify in your spine and in your heart. You are reclaiming yourself. Allow it to resonate through your entire field. And now we're just going to seal this invocation, and we're going to seal it by repeating after me. I am sovereign. I am free. I am whole. I now prepare to dissolve all contracts that are not aligned with my highest divine mission and expression. So just pause in the stillness and allow that seal to solidify. Let your field settle. You are now anchored in oversoul frequency. How beautiful is that? Okay, so we're going to talk a bit more about some other things now. You can revisit this. It'll be on my YouTube channel. You can revisit this episode on the YouTube channel and check in on that. Okay, so let's continue. So we're talking, for those that just showed up, we're talking about soul contracts. So let's look at unpacking how contracts are hijacked during incarnation cycles. Okay, so during the journey into form, particularly through distorted reincarnation loops, many souls pass through the astral gate systems that are not aligned with Prime Source. So when we pass on, when we leave the physical form, what ends up happening is that we get caught in these false incarnation loops because we are met by false light or by people that are in entities that want to hijack our freedom. And they will cycle us back into reincarnation loops, signing us up for contracts that we never needed to sign up for. So they either distort the truth of what we've experienced, distort the connections that we have. So it would come to you and it'd be like, so you remember that relationship that you had with so and so, and like you really did some some bad, like how and they get you to sign up for it. They get you to agree through the manipulation of the information. They get you to agree that you need to come back in and you need to experience this in a different way so that you can clear that contract or clear that karma from your life, but that was never actually a part of your life, right? Yeah. And so there is a lot of getting us signed up for contracts like that, like poverty contracts or relationship contracts, or what other particular contracts that we sign up for. So these gate systems are controlled by false light beings, archonic grids, and AI overlays, and they intercept the soul before or after death, and they present synthetic contracts that are masked as karmic obligations, right? So they mask them as a karmic obligation, so you sign up for it. So souls are coerced into agreements based on guilt and fear, trauma, or manipulated soul memory, right? So this is how they're getting us to sign back up for more incarnation, to get in that loop. So these contracts are then embedded into the new incarnations template, often without full awareness or consent. So anything that's done against free will or without having the consent, and the consent has to be an informed consent. It's not just in nursing or in medical system that we're supposed to be getting informed consent. It's through everything. Right. And even with what they're doing today in the world, those things are happening. It is with them sharing it. So we're aware of it and we're almost like subtly agreeing to it because of the way that it's presented to us. So the moon and Saturn also are affecting things as well. So the false lunar matrix and Saturnian. I'm going to have a sip of tea. Can you think of any of the contracts that you've signed up for, like poverty, right? Other people that are in the chat for conversation. Can you think of any of the contracts that you may have signed up for willingly or unwillingly that you seem to be reliving in your life? Yeah. There's a lot of people out in the world who they have really, really big channels and they're really, really popular, but they're psyops, or they have loops within their systems so that they keep you trapped, or they do other things like putting back doors in your brain so they can access you at other times. Like they create psychic back doors. There's lots of negative healers out there. And so it's important that you learn how to identify it, which is a lot of the concepts or a lot of the stuff that I'm sharing right now is around determining false lights and how to protect yourself, and then different activations and meditations and things that you can do to clear those so that they're not affecting you, right? So that you can be sovereign and you can be clear. So the Saturn is often called the Lord of Time and Karma. And it generates these looping mechanisms through distortion and through these chrono architecture, and soul tagging is the way that it does it. The moon is, as a satellite frequency modulator, reflects emotional distortions and subconscious programming into the human field, particularly during eclipse windows. So last year on April 8th, we had a false eclipse. It wasn't actually a true celestial eclipse. It was false. And so yesterday marked the annual, like the return of that eclipse. So it was a beautiful time to do ceremonies or rituals around clearing that, clearing the inversion contracts that occurred with that. So I did some of that yesterday. So the moon, what it does is it reinforces vows of suffering, of limitation, or of servitude. And these planetary systems were co-opted a long time ago to serve as prison rings rather than as liberators. So many of us, we get caught in, with astrology, and we look at it from the distorted concepts, and that keeps us locked in, like, Saturn, and the way that we look at Saturn, or the way that we look at the moon, right? The way that we do rituals with the moon. So why is an eclipse window supports massive timeline realignment? And the reason why is eclipses open natural dimensional gateways, or portals that temporarily thin the veil between timelines, soul templates, and higher integration points. So, we're literally thinning that veil during those those eclipse windows. So when harnessed with divine intent, these windows allow you to override those false overlays, and to step into your highest trajectory. No, it's like, it's all the reincarnation loops and stuff like that. You should check out my other channel, The One Truth Sets You Free. I do weekly shows where I am revealing the truth, because knowledge is power, right? And when you know the truth about things, then that's how you can free yourself. And there's lots of activations and stuff that go along with that channel as well. And thank you, Carol, for liking the live. When you like the live on TikTok, it helps. Unfortunately, I didn't make the game. I just have to play it. And so it's taps and it's gifts that will push my live to be higher. Same thing with on YouTube. It's all about engagement. And, the more that you engage with someone's live or someone's content, the more that the content gets pushed out there for other people to see. So when harnessed with divine intent, these windows allow you to override false overlays and step into your highest available trajectory. This particular eclipse cycle marks a counter rotation, a moment when inverted systems become vulnerable and the original soul blueprint can be fully restored. So guardians and light walkers are especially encoded to reclaim lost timelines and realign with the harmonic frequency that is of truth, and like of the truth, such as these celestial alignments. So the true celestial alignment. And that's what we're doing. Like many of us that are doing grid work, or, there's a lot of things that are going on. Like many of us, we have, like, oh, I'm here to wake people up, right? Maybe you've taken on that mission, or you think that that's your mission, is to, do these things. I know. Interesting though. I'm still here Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I don't know where everybody else is. It's been weird. I even talked to Carol about that yesterday. I was like, it was so weird on Tuesday. I felt like I was in the twilight zone, because I wasn't seeing anybody, and just really, really quiet on the airways. And I know I changed my content. I know I'm not like out here just throwing cards around. So maybe that's the thing. A lot of people came for the cards, and well, they don't want to stay for the information, so they're out. I can get that. But yeah, I haven't been seeing people the same way. It's been really weird. Really weird. But I also haven't been as active as I used to be, because I used to be doing a lot of contact and stuff. I don't know what you mean by that, Leslie. I love you. I love you too. And you know what? I'd rather teach you guys and empower you guys, and, break down the barriers of all the lies and disillusions and manipulation that this world has us under. And I like to give you all those truths and set you, because the truth will set you free. The truth will set you free. It's my motto. Wonder Woman. I haven't seen you in a little bit either. See, look at that. Alrighty, where was I? We were talking about the eclipse window. So knowing that there's lots of people out there that are doing different tasks, right? There's this whole, we're awakening, and the awakening starts with you, but you'll see different content out there where people are talking about that. And I used to talk a lot about trauma and mental health and shadow and stuff, but now I want to talk about ascension. I want to talk about, us ascending, and how can I help you guys ascend? Well, a big part of ascending is knowing the truth, right? Getting access to the divine truth. So I'll be giving you guys all of that. I'm one of those people. I let you give me whatever you want to gift me. It's all about generosity of spirit that comes from you. All right. So let's look at doing this contract revocation and reality recalibration. So this is a powerful activation that we're going to do. Okay. And it's important that we look at this. It's not just a one and done, right? And I know I was somewhere I was going to talk about that. I had some notes for today, and I did talk about this. That you may have to revisit it but it'll come in the notes in a little bit. So we're gonna do this once, but remember, you can come back and do it at any point in time. So again, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna make sure our devices are in a secure position, that you're in a secure position. You're gonna sit down or stand up with your feet firmly on the ground, because you're not going to be in a position to pass out or anything like that, or fall asleep. And you can lie down if that's more comfortable. And once we get into that comfortable position, close your eyes and start to focus on your breath, lengthening and deepening it. Okay, so a nice deep breath in and out. Just allow yourself to connect to your heart space. Out. Allow yourself to center into the space that is you, into this present moment. Allow yourself to relax into this space. And as we do so, we're going to visualize a beautiful golden white light surrounding us. This is protective, it is sovereign, and it is crystalline. This beautiful orb is probably about 9 feet in circumference. It's a pretty big circle that you're sitting inside. Above your head, you're going to see your oversoul presence, which is this beautiful light that's beaming downward in radiant spirals. This light begins to pour into your crown, down your spine, and anchors into your heart. Allow you to visualize that for a moment. And don't worry if you can't see in your mind's eye. Not everybody has the ability to visualize like that. Some of us just know or sense, just have a feeling of the light coming into our bodies and going down our spine or anchoring into our heart. We just feel it, or we know it. We don't see it. Now we're going to speak aloud. By divine law and prime source light, I now revoke, dissolve, and transmute all vows, bindings, contracts, agreements, soul cords, energetic tethers, implants, and overlays that were created without my full divine awareness and consent. We're going to pause for a minute and feel the light in your being and in your field begin to shift. You may feel warmth, tingling, or release as outdated energies begin to lift. Now we're going to speak again. We're going to say, I release all karmic burdens, false oaths, and distorted service agreements placed upon me through astral manipulation, trauma, lineage programming, or galactic interference. See scrolls, symbols, contracts, chains, or energetic codes rising from your energy body and field, floating upward into a pillar of light above you. As they reach the pillar, they dissolve into pure crystalline stardust. Now say, I reclaim my original divine blueprint. I command full restoration of my soul's truth, mission, and harmonic alignment. I now align with my highest reality stream, where my soul is free, sovereign, and fully embodied in divine remembrance. Breathe deeply as this new frequency begins to settle in your body. Feel your spine straighten, your heart expand, and your cells shimmer in light. Now, to seal the work, we're going to repeat. I now seal this clearing across all timelines, dimensions, realities, incarnations, and energy bodies. It is done. It is anchored. It is sovereign. We're just going to remain in silence for a few more breaths, allowing the recalibration to complete. And just let yourself fully receive this restoration. When you feel ready, you can open your eyes and return to the present moment, recalibrated. How do you feel? Let's talk about that one, because that was a pretty big one that we did there. Oh, and I got to straighten my leg out. Oh, I was falling asleep. Like half my leg is asleep right now. How did that feel, guys? Nice. Think about how you're going to feel now with all that cleared from your system, right? Like it's going to be incredible. I like that AI is telling me like eclipse truths unveiled and all this other stuff. Like it's just commenting all this stuff. It's really cool. Alrighty, so let's do some of the common questions that people ask around soul contracts and stuff like that. So how do you know if you have false or old contracts still operating in your field? The biggest way to know is the recurring patterns. So anything that's repeating in your life, where especially around limitation or sabotaged progress, where there's been inexplicable guilt or fear, or if you feel obligated, right? You feel obligated in relationships or role or missions that no longer resonate, right? Yay. You should come and hang out with us. I have free groups on my website. I have the Temple of Light as a free group. And then I have the Ascension Gateway, which is $11.11 per month. There is the Guardian Pathway, which is $22.22 a month. There is the Christic Mastery Circle, which is $44.44 a month. There is the Oracle Chamber, which is $22.22 a month. And there is Still Waters, a Temple for the Inner Voice, which is $33.33 per month. So there's several different groups, depending on what you're looking for and the level of involvement that you want that I have through my website. And I also do individual soul alignments. And right now I'm doing the live course of Bridge to Light, which is all about trauma and shadow. And it's the last live run through that I'm doing around trauma. And then I'm going to be moving into just doing Ascension stuff. I do have a single soul session that I do, but I'm only doing that until June. And that's again, on trauma and shadow stuff. So I don't do that one. After June, I won't be doing that anymore. And I have lots of books available. And if you're somebody that's divergent, that's neurospicy, I wrote a book. It's on my website. It's $14.44 Canadian for the ebook, but it's actually called The Divergence Code. And it's about revealing the truth, about the divine truth. It's actually unlocking the divine truth about ADHD and neurodivergent souls. So it's powerful. It has activations in it. It's a beautiful little ebook. So it's available on my website. Everything's available on my website. And my website changed. So like my name here, it went from being Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy to Anshara'El was what it is called. So my company's been changed the name to Anshara'El, Pathway of Ascension. So everything is Anshara'El.com. So Anshara'El.com is my website, and you can go there and check out all the stuff there. And like I said, the Temple of Light is a free group, and that keeps you connected, right? Which is perfect. Alrighty, so how do we know we get the stuck stuff, right? We get stuck. We're feeling really stuck, even if we're doing inner work. So if you're doing inner work and you're still feeling like these patterns, likely is that you're in some contract. And if you've done the work, but you're still looping around it, then that means that you're stuck. Like that's showing you that there's a karmic tie somewhere, or there's a false loop that you're stuck in, right? That there's a false loop one. I don't know what that means, Leslie. Okay, so can you accidentally revoke something important in your soul mission, right? Like when we're revoking contracts, is there a potential that we could revoke the wrong contract? And the answer is no. Because the difference is that when you made your divine mission or your major contracts that you made through the space of your oversoul in, where you are fully consciously aware of the choices that you are making for the evolution of your soul, those you made, and you made them in the right mind, right? Like it's like you made that fully aware of the contract that you were making. So if you made a contract that you were going to, let's say open a publishing company, let's just talk about something like offside. But let's say if your contract was, like you're going to come down and you're going to write children's books and you're going to start to create children's books, and then you're going to open up a publishing company that's going to allow other publishers that publish children's books to get published. Let's say that's what your soul mission is that you signed yourself up for. But for some reason, you just can't get it going because there's some tie there, right? That like you could revoke the contracts. That's going to revoke the false ones, but it's not going to take you from that mission that you assigned for yourself, right? And we can work on that. Absolutely, Lola. Absolutely. So that could be something, and maybe that'll be something you notice a bit different now because a fairy mask. Woo, it came up really weird for me. That's sad. I was looking forward to seeing it, but it did it weird. I just got the twinkles and then it popped up and went away. Turkeys. It's probably more my connection than anything. With the thing that we did today, that could be very well powerful enough to revoke those contracts, and you can maybe will see yourself progressing forward through that. Sometimes we think that everything has to be like really, really challenging, and that in and of itself creates loops for us, right? If I think that healing is going to take a really long time, if I believe that healing is something that I'm never going to fully do, right? Like those are ways that we trap ourselves. Right. So we have to think about those things. Thank you, Carol. But we have to think about those things, right? Is how is my mind creating a frame that's keeping me trapped itself? So nevers, always, those are definitely traps, right? You can see within your life. If I'm always, right, when we say I'm always going to cancel, none of this, everything that I'm saying in this is created in a safe bubble. I'm not saying it about me. I'm saying it for education purposes only. So when we say things like I always struggle, then that's you're selling that pattern, right? I always, or I'm never, I'm never successful, or I never win anything, right? If you think those things, then you won't, because that's your belief system. And you can see that belief system could potentially be tied up in false contract loops, like false loops of karma. Right, or these false agreements that you made to say experience struggle, right? So you're set into this, and that's what the matrix does, is it is built on this system of keeping you trapped, right? And keeping you small and keeping you stuck and keeping you thinking that you're afraid and all of these things. So it's created to do those things to you. And when you're aware of the way that you're speaking and the way that you're moving through your life and the feelings that you're spending most of your time in, that's when you can start to notice those patterns. So if I'm saying things like always and never, I'm creating a frame or a block around myself that's limiting me, I can understand that that might have come from a false contract or something that I need to work beyond, because there's something within my belief system that's holding me in that frame. So can you accidentally revoke something important? No. You can only dissolve contracts that were made without your divine consent. Your oversoul and prime source will never allow your true soul mission to be revoked. Only distortions and entrapments and overlays are removed. What if you've already done soul contract revocation ceremonies before? Why are you still looping? Well, like everything is layers, right? And I've talked about this before. Initially, when I went through my healing journey, I went around going, I'm going to heal everybody. I'm going to heal everybody. I'm going to heal everybody because I'm healed. And then I'm going to take it on. So you put that responsibility, and it's not your job to heal anybody. It's everybody's job to heal themselves. You can merely guide somebody or give somebody information or set them in the right path. But everything that they do, it has to come from within. It has to be me doing the practical and putting the work in. It's me facing my shadow. It's me doing the journaling. It's me doing the breath work. It's me doing the exercise. It's me cleaning up my diet. It's me that has to do those things for me in my life. You do them for you in your life. Somebody can merely be a guide for you. They can give you information. They can give you knowledge. They can empower you through a variety of ways. But for the change to happen, you're the one that has to implement the changes, right? So, that's a big part of it. There's just layers that we're going through. So contracts can exist in layered forms across dimensions, and some are embedded in ancestral or galactic memory fields. So each revocation peels back a deeper layer, right? And especially if done during karmic alignments like eclipses. Eclipses are powerful times to utilize the information, especially when your intention is set right, right? So can we revoke contracts for others or for our family lineage? Right. So can we do these for other people? And yes, you can. You can release inherited templates and ancestral patterns from your own field. Now, will that clear it for, let's say, your mom? If you revoke it for others, will that affect your mom? Not necessarily. Right. You can release the inherited templates and ancestral patterns from your own field, which will create ripples in healing into the field and around to others. But all souls must choose their own path. Good morning, Flori. They must choose their own path, right? We cannot override someone's free choice. So if someone's still choosing to experience those contracts, let's say poverty, let's say there's an ancestral agreement that was lied and distorted and it's stuck, that our family's going to experience poverty. And that's something that the family signed up for and you're a part of it. So you've picked up that lineage as well. So now you do this big cleansing and clearing and you revoke all of the contracts around that because they were made without your full consent. So you clear it. That doesn't mean it's going to fix the problem for your mom or for your cousin or for your sister, because they have to go through their own revocation. They have to, that time it worked. They have to go through their own revocation. They have to go through their own process of clearing that, of identifying that as a false loop and that they no longer want to participate in that. They have the free will. And as long as they continue to determine to experience it, they will. I'm doing really well, Flori. I definitely done a lot of changes this year. Totally rebranded the company and changed everything. Decided to step away from doing a lot of tarot cards and also really deep into trauma work. And now I'm working on divine truths and ascension. Let's rise, everybody. Let's be done with reincarnating in these loops, or let's be done with the lies of society. Let's create the new earth. Isn't that nice? I got quite a few now. I don't have many on me because I tend to give them away, or I'll buy a few and then I'll go and I'll set them like at the last 3 that I had. Well, 2 I gave to my niece for her birthday, but that made sense. So we've got the Golden Sunbeam. This is written underneath my pen name, or it's actually my celestial name. So my celestial name is Sharia and Lorian. And then my human name's Tanya Baldwin, because that's what I chose or what my parents chose. Either way you want to look at it. But those other books are written under my my pseudonym, as what I would call her, or my pen name, Sharia Ann Lorian, which is a lot of my stuff that's coming up. So I have a lot of them. I have a lot of books now. I have over 11 books currently published or due to be released. The next book in the Lumina Soul series releases on the 27th of this month. And then there'll be one more that gets released on the new moon next month, which I believe is the 27th as well. And then those books are going to slow down to being released like maybe 4 per year. So there won't be another one until mid-year in that sequence. The Unlikely Heroines, there's 2 books for that. There's Tiana and Parisa already. Soraya comes out on summer solstice, and then Mariah will come out in the fall, on the fall or summer, the fall equinox. She'll come out at that point in time. There is on my website, some of those books are starting to be released as ebooks in case you don't want to, order through Amazon and you're okay with an ebook. They're like in PDF format. So you can get them there. They're much cheaper to buy off the website that way. But yes, that's very, very exciting. Very happy with it. All righty. So can we revoke contracts for our families? Yes, we can. But if they're still participating in the contract, they're going to have to until they make the choice to no longer participate in that. So how will you feel after a deep contract clearing? So many will experience this clarity or this lightness, like an emotional release and some expanded vision. Some might feel tired or detoxing, right? They might feel like they have these detox-like sensations as the energy body recalibrates. Yeah, I have a friend in Costa Rica and she buys all my books and she's lucky because she owns a company. So it might maybe makes it a little bit easier because she's ordering like supplies for her company all the time. But yeah, it does take a little while for those books to come in. But it's really exciting. So yeah, there's 3 books that you can purchase as ebooks on my website right now. And that's the Divergence Code, Unlocking the Truth, the Divine Truth about ADHD and Neurodivergent Souls. And then the 2 Unlikely Heroine books, so Tiana and Parisa, they're up there. And I have to put the other ones on the website and set that up, but they will be up there eventually. So some will feel tired or like these really big detox sensations as your energy body recalibrates. So the important thing to do is to rest and hydrate. Whenever you're doing these big activations or you're clearing things through energetics, you should be hydrating well and making sure that you're just listening to what your body's saying to you. So if your body's telling you to rest. If you're feeling really energetic, then do things that are within that space of energetics, right? It's really beautiful. Somebody just purchased the Divergence Code. I saw that come up. That is awesome. It's an awesome book. Okay, so is there a risk of backlash or spiritual attack after revoking the contracts? No, not when they're sealed in your oversoul light and divine law. That being said, energetic sensitivity may be heightened. So you might be feeling things more, but that's just your awareness. And that's giving you the opportunity that you can do more shielding or protecting, right? You can shield your field, ground into Gaia, and also invoke your guardian support teams regularly. So your spirit guides, your oversoul, prime source, connecting into those things. And I do call it prime source. I call it prime source. So allowing that, right? And use Gaia. Gaia is an energy, it's not just a planet. Gaia is a sentient being. Gaia, is ascending with us. There we go. I was trying to say it and almost said ancestral. She's ascending with us, right? So it's important to interact with that, which is powerful. So does anyone have any questions about soul contracts or anything like that we're talking about today, or any questions at all? We can talk about anything. check my comments here. Just a hello to YouTube. YouTube's quiet today. That's okay. We just saw 5444. Be careful, because there are fake oversouls that try to tell you they are over authority. If somebody's like, my oversoul doesn't tell me anything like that. And that's how I don't. There are, and that's part of the thing. Like, some of us, we connect with our guides, and sometimes they're not even true guides. We'll get tied up in situations like that. Like, we do have to be careful, but it's connecting with your heart and asking yourself, does this resonate with being of the light? Does this feel like, there's a lot of questions that you can ask yourself to determine whether or not it's right. Yeah, but it's not as simple as you think. Right? Like, it's nothing to be afraid of, because if you're in your sovereignty and you're right, like if you're in your like when you're standing in your sovereignty, you're unfuckwithable. The more truth that you know, right? The more truth that you know, the less that you're at risk of manipulation, right? The more that you know the truth, the less that you can be tampered with, right? That's why so many people can be manipulated, is because they're not sovereign and they're already living in giving their power away, right? You're not to give your power away to anything external to you, right? And many of us do, because it's either, we are praying to a false god. We are waiting for the government to save us. We think that a person's going to come into our life and make it better, like a partnership, a relationship. We're looking for money to save us. We're idolizing musicians or TV stars or sports and stuff like that. So all of that energy outside of us, many of us are so much about our glamour, right? We're like, oh, I'm going to, it's all about how I look, and, like in attracting people through that way. Right. And that can be that they're operating under a glamour mimic, like, and things like that. Hi, Mike. So you could, it's just knowing your divinity, knowing your, like, I'm not giving my power away to anything external to me. And my path to God is from within, right? That's not that God is that I am God. I'm not. I am not God. I'm not prime source. Prime source is a being, is an energy source, the source of all creation. It is the perfect combination of the Christ and the Sophia energy of divine masculine and the divine feminine. It is unconditional love. It's beautiful, beautiful energy. It exists outside of me, but the path to that is to go within. I don't go to church to pray to God, because they're not getting me to pray to the God that I'm looking to pray to. They're getting me to pray to the false God. And there's all kinds of truths around that we could talk about at another time. But that's more my One Truth Sets You Free channel. More of my One Truth Sets You Free rather than our good old Anshara'El. But those are some overlapping concepts that definitely come up. So if you're looking for more truth in this area, you can always go check out that channel. And if you're looking to really clear yourself of all of these false things, like false light healers and contracts and all of that stuff, the Anshara'El Pathway of Ascension is a perfect spot. And the group that's 1111, the Ascension Gateway, that one for 1111, it gets you access to private teachings. So you can clear things like those, or identify false light healers and clear them from your space and stuff like that. There's all kinds of stuff that I provide in that particular group for 1111. There's no live interaction with me in that group. If you want to have one live per month or additional education or additional event stuff, then that's at the next group level, which is $22.22 per month with the Guardian Pathway. So that's where I start doing lives and actually teach you in person for a session, and the same thing with the Christic Mastery. And as you go up the levels of those three particular groups, When you're in the Ascension Gateway, you have the Ascension Gateway. When you go to the Guardian Pathway, you have the Guardian Pathway and the Ascension Gateway. When you go to the Christic Mastery Circle, you have the Christic Mastery Circle, the Guardian Pathway, and the Ascension Gateway groups. So you have all three groups. You keep the lower group as you go up through those three particular groups. But there's also the Still Waters Inner Temple, which is a beautiful space for your inner voice. It's a soft space for healing. It's a very beautiful space. And if you're looking for something else, the Oracle Chamber, there's going to be other groups that will be created at some point in time, but those ones are there currently. So lots of options for your help. Or for whatever you're looking for. All right. So let's do another integration meditation, and then we'll close the show. Okay? Because I got to get to school or I'm going to be late. I'm going to be late for class, and I'm the teacher, so I can't be late. All righty. So then again, make sure your device is in a safe space that is secured. Close your eyes. Sit comfortably. Spine aligned. Okay? Just like me. Just sit like me, spine up, eyes closed. Take that nice deep breath in and out. Another breath in and out. Feel your body relaxing, becoming present in this moment. Feel it settling and anchoring in. Another breath in and out. Now visualize that beautiful radiant stream of golden light pouring into your crown, coming straight from your oversoul, pouring into your crown, in your third eye, down to your throat, filling up your spine, into your heart, all the way down into your solar plexus, your sacral, and your root. And this time, that beautiful golden light that's pouring into you pours right on through and down into the earth, right into the core of Mother Gaia. Let this beautiful light expand all around you and fill in that beautiful auric field that you have, extending out into that toroidal field you're sitting in. Within this field, all that you have released is transmuted, and all that you are becoming is supported. Sit in this beautiful energy for a moment, feeling that support and feeling the release of everything that does not serve you. Feel all those energies that we've been working through today be transmuted to love. Now we're going to speak aloud or within. I now seal this session in full alignment with my Oversoul, Prime Source, and the law of divine sovereignty. I allow all energies released to return to Source, and all soul parts retrieved to integrate fully now. So feel that crystalline light begin to reweave your field, gently harmonizing your mental, emotional, physical, and light bodies. Now we're going to say, I re-anchor to my highest timeline. my highest harmonic timeline. I embody the codes of truth, liberation, and divine purpose. I am whole. I am free. I am restored. Breathe gently and sit in silence for a few moments and feel the light stabilizing in your body. And when you feel ready, gently open your eyes. The integration is complete. And there you go. There's a beautiful session that I did called the public teaching series, part of the public teaching series, and it was episode 4, which was all about rewriting past lives and clearing false contracts. So this is available in the Ascension Gateway. Love you, sweetheart. That's going to feel amazing for everybody. What a powerful session to have this morning. And do know that you can revisit this anytime. Like I said, this is on my YouTube channel, which is Anshara'El. All one word. So Anshara'el. All one word, available on YouTube. You can check that out. You can also get all my social links on the website, on Anshara'El.com, and check that all out there, and also the groups as well. Yeah, and do go check out the free groups at least, right? At least join the Temple of Light and hang out with us in the free group. I drop lots of things in there. I like to drop these daily things. They're not a daily thing, but they are day things. A connection from who? The Anshara'El didn't come from. Anshara came from my oversoul, came from my higher self. It was a word that was given to me, and it was originally Anshara. Anshara is a very powerful word. It has a very strong meaning to it, and it is about remembering. And so it can invoke remembrance with people that say the word. The L portion is because it's Anshara apostrophe EL, and anything with the EL that is connected to divine truth, to the Christic element. So yeah, which is perfect. Alrighty, guys, I've got like 7 minutes to get to class. I love you guys. Do go sign up on the website, at least for, like I said, that free group. It's free. So why not? Right? Why not? And trust me, you can ask anybody that's been with me for the last 4 years. I don't inundate you with a ton of emails. I have set it up so there's a couple of emails that come out right away when you sign up, like for the email list. You'll get the initial one, you get one in 3 days, and then one a week later. But do check out the free site, or the free group, and some of the other subscription groups if you want to go deeper, or the alignment sessions. There is a free call there as well. And yeah, let's ascend together, right? Like, let's do this. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want any false contracts of recycling through this life again into this. No, I'm done. I'm done with reincarnating in a false loop of crap that I don't need to do. If I come down here, it's because I make a choice to come down and live here. Right. All right. It's like, no. Actually, I need to change that. Thank you for reminding me of that. Even though the old website, like if you went to my TikTok and you went to the old website, it will bring you straight to the new website. It'll do that until probably about the end of June. It'll just automatically forward you to the correct website. But I'll make sure that I've updated that on here. Alrighty. I love you guys. For those of you that are in class with me today, I will see you in around 5 minutes. And for those of you who aren't, I'll see you back here on Tuesday, or you can go check out the One Truth Sets You Free channel that I have as well and see some of the truths that I'm sharing there, like the illusion of money and all kinds of different things. Hi, spiritual love. How are you, sweetie? But yes, I'll see whoever's in class. I'll see you soon. For those of you that aren't, I'll see you back here on Tuesday. Or if you interact with me sooner, go check out my stuff. I love you. And definitely go join the free group that's available, the Temple of Light. Love you. Love you. Hi, sweetheart. Have a beautiful day, okay? Have a beautiful day. Oh, I forgot. I have to shut this one off too. So we'll shut off. We'll stop the YouTube first.